I'm getting ready for a date night, and I'm gonna talk to you about some reasons why you might be hating your makeup. First of all, if you're not moisturizing your skin very well prior to applying foundation, your foundation's never gonna look great. It may surprise you to know that hydrated, moisturized skin makes such a difference in your foundation no matter what type of foundation you wear. I prefer a medium coverage foundation. I'm using Armani's Luminous Silk. It's one of my favorite medium coverage foundations that I've been using for years. And I blend it in with a Sephora foundation brush. This one is number 56. Make sure you're blending your foundation past the edge of your jaw. Even go onto your ear if you want it to look all very balanced. This Natasha Denona concealer has been my go-to lately. It just gives a really nice coverage and looks very natural on the skin. Another concealer that I really love is the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I like to use my fingertips to blend this in. Sometimes I use a beauty blender, but lately I found the warmth of my fingertips is blending in the concealer so nicely. It looks natural and I'm not picking up a bunch of product. By doing this, like it's staying put on my skin, but just blending out. If your under eyes are creasing, listen, it might be your concealer or it might be that you're not setting your concealer. No one talks about this. The Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder for Under Eye. Holy grail. Can't do my makeup without it. I'm going to be using the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette because oh my gosh. So I needed primer or a base all over my lid. Start with Max Painterly as eyeshadow primer, kind of that one single wash of color all over the lid. So the eyeshadow goes on beautifully and does not budge. Makeup by Mario EF1 is the brush I'm using. I think it's technically marketed as a concealer brush, but I love it. As someone that uses cream eyeshadow, I would say every day, every time I put makeup on, I'm either using a cream eyeshadow as a base, like an eyeshadow primer, or I'm using cream eyeshadow as that first color on the lid. But look, it has this flat side, so you can apply a cream product and blend it in, and then it has a fluffy side. So if you want to put your eyeshadow on with this big fluffier side, or just use it to dust a little bit of translucent powder over your eyeshadow primer, take away some of the tackiness, you could do that. You could also absolutely use this for concealer if you want to do that. I just love it for my eyelid. I'm letting that eyeshadow primer I just applied kind of set and dry down. So I'm taking the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil in soft brown, very gentle strokes on the brows to kind of follow the natural shape that I have microbladed. So I'm picking up this warm brown shade for all over the lid, and then I'll choose a darker brown for the crease, and then lastly, I'll use my fingertip to put a little bit of shimmer right at the center of the lid. That's like such a pretty finish to the eye that makes it feel a little special. I've got a date tonight, but I don't want to go overboard. So I'll just put a little sparkle in the center of the lid and call it a day. I'm picking a lighter shadow to go above that medium brown that I just put on, kind of that lighter brown, just to soften the edges. Do you know, for like, I don't know, 1,000,000 years, I always did my eye makeup before my face makeup, and now I've switched. I switched many years ago, and I can't imagine doing it the other way. Isn't that funny? Okay, for the brown, I'm choosing that one. Look how pigmented these shadows are. They're so pretty. So I'm choosing a flatter brush. All of the brushes that I'm using can be found at Sephora. It's just like I've gotten them over the years in different kits. Like this was a holiday kit with green and gold. So I'm just focusing on my crease area. My eye is not closed. And if you want a little definition for your eye, just go beyond where your crease is, especially if you don't have a pronounced crease like me. So see how I went past where the actual crease, like the skin crease is? That'll give the illusion of greater depth, which will in turn make your eyes look a little bigger. And everything I do with my makeup is to make my eyes look bigger. That is always the goal. For my lower lash line, I'm grabbing that first light brown that I put all over my lid after I put on that primer and just rounding out the natural shape of my eye to, again, make it look a little bigger. I don't like a strong line of liner under the eye. I feel like not only does that close my eye up, it ends up dragging a lot of eye shapes down. It's sort of counterintuitive because you would think, let me add darkness so it's definition. No, it can actually make your eyes look really small. So if you've never skipped lower liner before, try it and just put like a brown shadow under there and a little swipe of mascara, and you may be really happy with the results. I certainly am. So now I'm picking that crease color up and just adding a little bit more depth so I have what looks like a shadow because I'm adding this darker color. See what I mean? It's like a soft, smoky look. Okay, which shimmer should I choose? I have been, which one? I've been doing that middle one, and I really love it. I'm gonna go for it again. So I just do my middle finger, nothing's on it. I just press my middle finger into that, and it picks up the product. I'm gonna close the eye and just press at the center of my eye and going in. I'm not necessarily going all the way out to the crease, but do you see it made it just a little shimmery without being like overboard? Listen, if you're an overboard shimmer girl, do your thing, girl. I'm a very basic, simple, classic makeup wearer. So I like to keep it simple and just feel like myself. But look, that just added the nicest pop on the center of the lid. This is an iconic London dual-ended eyeliner. This is a light color that I'll never use, but I love this brown color so much, and I love that it's a thicker pencil that I just use this anyway, even though I'll probably never touch the other side. Look at how easy it draws on my lid, and it's the perfect brown that's going to add definition without looking too heavy, too dark, or too opaque. You can still see through it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? So it really is just adding definition and like a fake thicker lash line, but not necessarily making my eye look super defined with liner. Okay, if you really want to glow, Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. And is this luminous light? This is dim light. I have luminous, I have dim. All over the face. It's not like a highlighter. It's not going to be super glitzy and glammy, but it reflects light so beautifully and just gives you like almost a filtered look to your skin. The Kosas bronzer. If you're feeling blah about your makeup, you're just not liking it. Listen, it's November if you're watching this in real time. You might need a little bronzer, girl, okay? It's okay. You can fake a little warmth on the face. Sure ain't coming from being outside. So a little bronzer, I'm not using a lot, and I'm using a really big fluffy brush so the product isn't too concentrated. So I'm just pressing it in, putting it on mostly the outside of my face, but whatever's left on the brush, I'll bring around just to make sure it's all balanced and doesn't look muddy or splotchy. When you're applying mascara, you have to get the wand all the way to the base of the lashes. And you can check and see if you're doing this by looking at yourself from the side. If you can see eyelash that doesn't have mascara on it because you started too far out from the mascara, you just have to either put the mirror under you and look up so you can see that you're getting it, or just get a little closer to the mirror or be in a well-lit situation. But I'm putting the mascara on, and then see how I'm holding my mirror under so I can see? I want to make sure I'm lifting the lash from the base so the mascara application is even from root to tip. Not only will this help lift your lashes and hold them up, it won't look kind of clumpy from the side. You know, like if you've ever been close to someone and their mascara isn't all the way to the base of the lashes, it just looks like it started halfway. It's once you see it, you're like, oh, all I have to do is just move the mascara wand a little lower. But it helps me to have a lit mirror because of the grandmother I am, I guess, and hold the mirror below so I can make sure I'm getting all the way to the base of the lashes. I really love to use two types of mascara. So that was 2 coats of Lancome Lashy Doll for length and definition, and then for serious thickness and volume, I'm using Tarte Lights Camera Lashes, and I'm also noticing she's clumpy. So it's time to either put a little bit of saline solution in here to extend it for, I don't know, another week or 2, or just head on over to the store and get another tube. Okay, I accidentally got a little mascara on my eyelid there. I am not going to touch it. I'm gonna let it fully dry. I probably won't even look at it again or tend to it until after my hair is done, so it is fully dry. And then I'll take a little spoolie end of an eyebrow pencil and scratch it off, and there will not be any evidence that it happened. So if you get mascara on your face at any point of the process, let it dry. I'm realizing I do this stuff in such a weird order. So now I'm doing Rare Beauty Blush in Hope. I just put the brush, the Rare Beauty brush, right against the blush applicator, dot it on. This stuff's pigmented, and you know if you've tried it. A little goes a long way, but I just want a natural looking flush, and then I will be... That's so something I would do. Okay. Okay, we're going a little stronger with the Rare Beauty than I was intending, and now I have to make it match, but the nice thing is this blush looks so great, so you can have a little bit of a heavy hand. You also know that I like to do this. I like a pink cheek, so we're going to leave it there. Sometimes I feel like my under eye area is a little separated from the rest of my face, and I wouldn't want to use a darker under eye concealer, but after I put blush on, if I feel like I'm seeing the difference there, I'll take some, look, I got this little sample of this Kosas powder and I love it. And I'll just grab powder here and kind of bring it down like a V shape to soften any differentiation between my under eye concealer and where I've started my blush. That way my under eye concealer is still light and bright. I use that setting powder, but see how it kind of brings it together a little more? So because I'm me, I can't just do one blush. I'm grabbing this Armani, which color is this? 50, and just pressing this right on the cheek. Not only does this add a little shimmer because that Hope shade I used in Rare Beauty is more matte, this just gives it a little bit of extra, and I like that on my cheeks, okay? This is the only lower lash mascara worth using. Another thing, if you're just not feeling your makeup these days, skip lower lash mascara altogether and see what you think of that. It's a little bit more of a modern look. Sometimes I do that. On me, in my eyes, I feel like the lower lash mascara helps balance it out a little bit because I go so heavy with the mascara on the top lashes, but I love the look of just mascara on the upper lashes, nothing, or maybe just a little bit of shadow on the lower lash line. Okay, for the lips, I've been using liner. This is a lip liner I've had for I don't even know how long, Maybelline Color Sensational 102 Beige Babe. I'm overlining my upper lip because she's thin, and then just staying in the normal line of my bottom lip. As you can tell, can't be bothered to be real perfect with lip liner, okay? Now I'm grabbing Armani Lip Power in 114. This is a matte nude. I love this color. It's very pale. I like to put gloss over it. And okay, you just put a matte lip color on. I love the color of it. Okay, I know I said I was gonna wait a really long time, but I cannot live with ending this video with that mascara on my lid. So look, I have a spoolie. Yes, look, it flaked right off. That was thrilling. Okay, the very last part is setting spray. Sun is coming out. So this is the final makeup look. I hope you learned a few tips and tricks along the way. I will put links to all of the products I use below this video if you want to check those out. The real star of the show for me these days is this Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. I love it for just the mattes. I love it for the shimmers, and I could not love my eye look more. And you saw, I did use that Painterly base from MAC, but all of the dimension and the statement of the eye is from this guy. All right, let's go do this hair.